In the depths of prehistoric time, the world was shrouded in darkness as thick forests stretched endlessly, their towering silhouettes hiding untold mysteries while strange animal cries echoed through the mist, reminding early humans that danger lurked in every shadow and survival was a constant challenge in this untamed land. Families of early humans huddled near rocky shelters with eyes wide in fear and curiosity, for the fire had not yet been discovered and nightfall was a time of dread. The skies above rumbled with distant thunder, and every sound carried the weight of uncertainty, testing the courage of these fragile humans as hunters sharpened their stone tools, guided only by instinct. Children clung tightly to their mothers as the night grew colder, every rustle in the bushes stirring fear until a sudden roar shattered the silence and hearts raced for survival. Yet even in this fragile existence courage was born, and the seeds of human endurance began to take root. Dawn broke with pale light streaming through the canopy as the forest awakened alive with both beauty and danger. Early humans stepped cautiously into the wilderness with senses heightened, every footprint on soft earth a warning of creatures nearby. A giant shadow moved silently between the trees, and hunters exchanged nervous glances knowing they were not alone. Predators ruled the land and humans had no claws or fangs, relying only on their wits, their numbers, and their courage. As the group crossed a shallow stream, the splashes echoed unnaturally loud and fear rippled through the camp, but they pressed on, for food was their only hope. Birds suddenly scattered from the treetops, the forest whispering its warnings, and every rustle in the tall grass quickened their hearts. Yet determination drove them forward, for to protect their young they had to face whatever waited in the shadows.
We must be careful.
The day grew hot as hunters pressed deeper into the forest, sweat glistening while they searched for prey. Suddenly a predator emerged with fangs glistening and muscles tense, ready to strike, and the humans froze, caught between fear and survival. One brave hunter stepped forward, raising his stone tool, courage overcoming fear in the most critical moment. The predator lunged, but the hunters acted as one, shouting and striking with all their strength, their unity giving them a fighting chance. Dust and leaves filled the air as the struggle raged on, every heartbeat carrying the weight of life or death, until at last a final strike drove the beast back into the shadows. Relief swept through the group, though they knew more dangers would come, and as they stood tall, breathing heavily, their victory carved. The sun rose higher and the forest grew restless, every sound sharper as hunters ventured deeper into unfamiliar land in search of food. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth, and danger lingered behind every tree as shadows moved silently just out of sight. A herd of ancient beasts grazed near a clearing, their massive forms both a promise of sustenance and a threat of sudden fury. The hunters crouched low, studying their movements, knowing a single mistake could cost them their lives. Slowly they inched forward, their tools clutched tightly, their eyes fixed on the prey, yet their hearts beating with the knowledge that the wilderness gave nothing freely. A branch snapped underfoot, and the beasts lifted their heads, nostrils flaring, muscles ready to charge. For a moment time stood still as human courage faced nature's raw power, and then the group scattered to safety, their hunt unfinished, but their lesson learned. Survival meant patience, strategy, and unity. As the day wore on, hunger gnawed at their strength and desperation grew, but so too did determination, for the protection of their families depended on their persistence. By dusk the forest was painted in hues of red and gold, but danger still prowled unseen. The hunters found themselves near a rocky ridge, where caves offered temporary shelter yet also hid lurking predators. The air grew colder, and the cries of nocturnal creatures echoed across the landscape as the humans gathered closely, shielding the young at the heart of the group. A sudden growl rolled out from the shadows and eyes gleamed in the dark, forcing every heart to pound as survival once again balanced on the edge of instinct. Stones were clutched tightly, voices rose in fierce shouts, and together they faced the threat not with strength alone, but with the will to protect one another. The predators circled, but the humans stood their ground, driving it back step by step with unity and defiance until the danger faded into the night. Exhausted but alive, they huddled in the rocky hollow, their spirits tested yet strengthened, and in their collective courage, the bonds of humanity grew tighter. The night was long, restless, and filled with the distant howls of unseen beasts, but dawn finally broke, bringing hope along with light. The group emerged from their shelter weary yet determined, their faces marked by struggle, but their eyes filled with resolve. They set out once more across the rugged terrain, scanning for food and water while guarding their children at the center of their journey. The forest tested them again with steep cliffs, rushing streams, and sudden storms, yet they pressed on hand in hand, each step a testament to endurance. When the rains poured down and lightning cracked the sky, they drew close together, sharing warmth and courage in the midst of chaos. Every obstacle hardened them, every trial etched strength into their story, and slowly they discovered that within unity lay the power to endure. By the time the storm passed and the skies cleared, they stood. A storm raged suddenly across the jungle. Rain poured and thunder shook the earth. Winds tore branches from the trees above. The fire hissed and died under the rain. The tribe ran for shelter, hearts racing. They found refuge inside a cave of stone. Cold and wet, they huddled close in darkness again. Nature reminded them of its power. Morning light returned after the storm. The tribe stepped out of the cave together. They gathered wood and stone to rebuild their camp. Men lifted heavy logs to make new shelters. Women prepared food and cared for the children. The little ones laughed as the sun rose high. They had endured the storm and survived again. In unity, they found hope for the future.